Hello and welcome back to the National Volleyball Center here in Kettering. We are just about to kick off our Women's Cup final today. This is going to be a massive match between Malory Eagles and Team SideOut Polonia. This is one that fans have been waiting for all weekend. So warm-up started now. We are going to have first service at 1:30, so definitely stay tuned. But over the next few minutes, we're going to give you guys some of the deep dive into the background between these two teams and a little bit of a preview of that. So from a cup standpoint, Malory are 8 times winners. However, their last win in the National Cup was in 2006. Team SideOut, on the other hand, are recent victors in this cup battle, having won 4 times, including 2022 and 2024. They did lose in 2023 to Durham Platinates, but all of those finals were played against Durham, so this is a new matchup for this cup final in the recent history. The previous meetings of these two teams have been varied, especially in this season. We saw back in November, Malory took SideOut in 3-2 in a 5-set thriller. But in January of this year, SideOut did have a 3-set sweep over Malory, taking things home quite comfortably. So today could go either way. It's a new venue, new stage for the ladies, and it is a new experience for this Cup Finals weekend. I'm just going to hand this over to our courtside team in just a moment's time. So you're going to have Michael Hansen-Morris and Alex Chenery getting you some of the amazing stats.
Thank you very much, Jess. Delighted to be courtside to preview the Women's National Cup Final here with the Rebels head coach Alex Chenery. Alex, two sides you know both well, 1 win apiece. How exciting is this Women's National Cup Final going to be?
Oh, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Like, these two teams have both been outstanding throughout the whole season. Both have tested us at times this year, and Malory had the edge coming off that gold medal at Final Four, but they didn't have to play Team SideOut Polonia in that tournament to win the gold medal. So this is a new matchup in this knockout scenario, and I can't wait to see it happen.
And I think that's the interesting thing. We saw it in the Men's National Cup Final. Game plans are fresh because you didn't see these sides 2-3 weeks ago in the Final Four. There's a matchup both teams were probably preparing for, at least somewhat, as we saw with the Malory men and the Essex men yesterday. So that means these sides have had some time to cook some ideas up.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's going to be one of the keys for these groups moving forward is, this is new and they have had a couple of weeks to cook, and we know both of these coaching staffs are super experienced, really good in the scout phase of things, and good at implementing game plans, especially on the SideOut side.
Right, we're going to have a walk down the busy court side, Alex, because the first team we are going to talk about is Mark Kontopoulos' Team SideOut Polonia, obviously second in the season, a team stoked in history.
Yeah, absolutely. One of only 3 teams with 2 wins of the National Cup, or more than 2 wins of the National Cup. A team that has been super successful in recent years. There's a crazy stat about finishing in the top 4 of the Super League every year for 15 or so years with this group, and I think that's going to be massive for them moving forward.
And we'll have obviously talk about some of the roster. Obviously, we know about Alice J, as we've just seen her. She's just going through some videos, some last-minute things, as Mark Kontopoulos just trying to sort out his first rotation. But we'll really start with the person in the middle of the team for SideOut Polonia, Carla Mully, wearing 5. Back from injury late in the season, wasn't quite yet in game rhythm at Final Four, but she's had some weeks off to prep.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think she was fully 100% healthy and game ready for Final Four. She was great, but not quite at her absolute best. When she's at her best, one of the hardest players to game plan for and play against in the league.
Indeed, so a little bit of an audio, she's just trying out the new tech, but obviously we know the other outside 4 teams like that. Polonia needs no introduction. Yulia Tokarenko had some huge games, including against Malory in that 3-0 win in January.
Yeah, one of the fixtures of the league now for a long time. Obviously, great at Northumbria, been even better at SideOut for the years that she's been there. Just absolutely unbelievable power on a game-by-game basis. So hard to stop defensively because she hits the ball so hard even now.
And obviously the interesting tactical decisions will be for Mark where he goes with the middles. We know they've got the youngster Valeria Busquets, the 18-year-old, on the slide attack. That's been a staple, but then they got the decision. Casey Bell just in front of us, Abigail Russell on the far side. Both have taken big reps in big moments this year, and that decision is going to be crucial because we know they've got to try and slow up the Malory middle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where Russell potentially gets the start. I think Russell has a higher ceiling, but also a much lower floor than Bell. I think Bell's a really good, capable middle blocker, but if it's a matchup between Bell and Lazard, I know who's winning that one all day.
Indeed, but it's interesting, when these sides met in January, it was the only loss for Malory. SideOut inflicted it, and it was quick. It was 3-0, 17-17, 25. Abigail Russell, 9 swings, 6 kills.
Yeah, I mean, she's reads the game so well. That beach background, the ability to see space and play in space is absolutely key for her and for this team moving forward. I think service pressure from SideOut's got to be better than it has been all season. Hey, we were shocked when we played them a couple of times that we weren't that tested by their service, and I think if you don't test Malory, their middles come into play. Georgia McGovern's able to play at pace, and it becomes really, really hard to defend against this Malory offense.
Indeed, and obviously SideOut, we talked about it, but they've got players known for the big game. They've got so much experience, so much. They've still got new faces, but you've also got a core setting group.
Yeah, absolutely. Mervakin played at a high level in Bucks and in the Super League over the last couple of seasons while she's been here with SideOut Polonia. Experience back home in Turkey. Really, really smart setter, makes good decisions, experienced in these big moments as well.
Indeed, as teams going through warm-ups, we'll get a quick word with coaches from both teams in just a minute. But I think the interesting thing for SideOut, the resiliency. That semi-final, obviously you inflicted the pain, the 5-set comeback from behind 2-0, but for that team to bounce back on the Sunday says a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, and they didn't have it all their own way on the Sunday either. Lionhearts came and played a really, really good game in that bronze medal match, but they were able to come in and get the win in 5. They're a really, really tough team to beat. We in the 4th set of the game in March where we played against them, we beat them to 10, and they still came back in the 5th set and pushed us all the way. So a team that's really, really hard to put away and will provide a tough test to Malory Eagles today.
Yeah, team SideOut Polonia in the league, 15-3. Obviously the loss in the final 4, but the important bit is how did they get here? And actually, they probably got a nicer draw. They played in round 1 Essex Trinity, then they got London Bears, last year's Shield champions, in the quarter-final. Obviously a battle of matchup, but they were really tested by Leeds Gorse in that semi-final. Lost the first set. Lane Brown's team came out firing. They lost an early key piece with injury as well, and they found a way to win in 4 sets.
Yeah, and I think that shows just the resiliency of this group. Like, nothing went their way for the first 30 minutes of that game against Leeds, and they just eased their way in, won the second, and then motored home in the 3rd and 4th.
And obviously the experience of the coaching staff as well for SideOut. Obviously Mark's been here a long time, but he talked about in the build-up to the Final Four the experience, the addition he's got in helping with Christian this year, Sam, but obviously the person right behind us, the master tactician in Bin, and how much vital time is it that they've had 3 weeks to prep for this Malory team, that they are going to pull something out in a game plan.
Bin's the biggest cheat code in the Super League. Honestly, the scout report, we knew going into Final Four that we were probably going to lose the first 2 sets because Bin's scout is so good. And that's why when we were 2-0 down, as a team, they were able to turn around and go, right, we just reset and play our game and we'll find our way into this one. Such a good scout, so good at knowing your tendencies and how to stop them. I think he's going to be a real key piece in this matchup from the bench today.
Indeed, and hopefully we can just get the attention of Sam Skorsky. He's going to have a little chat with us. Obviously, Sam, the coach of the year, but another young coach, and the development of young coaches is so pivotal, Alex.
Oh, absolutely. Mentoring is the best way to develop in your coaching world, and Mark's doing such a great job of mentoring right now.
Indeed, and here he is, our coach, our young coach of the year, Sam Skorsky, with us from courtside. Sam, just talk about initially this group this year. We were just talking about with Alex, the experience you've had working with Mark, working with Christian. How much does that help you grow in confidence and develop this year?
It's been an absolute privilege to work with these 2 coaches. I mean, Mark actually was the first person. He helped me on my coaching course when I first did my assistant coach award. So I'd already had a lot of respect for Mark, and I knew that when I moved to London, I wanted to work with him. And ever since working with him now, I've just grown in respect, and I have so much time for him. He's just a fantastic coach. He's a fantastic person, and I think that's something that's really key to when we're creating this type of atmosphere where we're kind of balancing success and a lot of pressure. And Chris and I have come in at the same time. We've worked together on the England Talent Pathway, so we already knew each other, but working together, we've really kind of developed a very close friendship, and it's just been an absolute privilege to work with the both of them.
And obviously you won the award yesterday for Young Coach of the Year. Just talk about your coaching journey and where you kind of want to go.
Well, I started actually as a HEVO, so as a volunteer for Volleyball England, and I really got the coaching bug. And ever since then, I just kind of I just couldn't stop thinking about coaching and volleyball. So I really just took every opportunity I could. I worked with VBDC, I went abroad to get my FIVB level 1 and level 2, and it's just, I want to take this as far as I can, really. That's my main priority, is I want to try and push the sport to the next level performance-wise in an atmosphere where coaches can start coaching full-time and therefore grow the sport in England.
And obviously focus now is on this game. You played Malory twice, split the series. What's going to be the crucial thing today that you have to do well to come away with this National Cup?
I think for me it's about the trust that we've built up as a team. The season hasn't been easy for us. We've had 2 of our outside hitters go out with ACL injuries, but the girls, we've had this kind of next woman up mentality where everyone has stepped up to fill the gaps, and I've just have so much trust and belief in this team. I think Malory as well, they've shown such a good energy on court. I think both teams we're fighting for more than just this cup. I think we're both fighting for the whole development of volleyball in England, and we're always trying to push it to that next level.
Well, Sam, we'll let you get ready for the game, but appreciate your time and congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
There's the thoughts of your Young Coach of the Year, Sam Saucy. Alex Chinnery, should we go listen into the huddle and the coin toss?
Yeah, let's do so.
As the captains, Alara Yilmaz, the starting libero for SideOut, Chloe Allen, the Malory captain. Malory won both coin tosses yesterday.
Can they go 3 for 3 this weekend?
Our referees, of course, Lenny Barry and Peter Parsons, just getting the final instructions through. And we'll see if we can bring you a live reaction to the coin toss. First time we've done this with microphones. As we get ready for what should be a fun cup final. Obviously, both teams experiencing finals as well. Alara Yilmaz wins the toss, chooses to receive Alex Chinnery.
Yeah, first attack for SideOut Polonia. Malory obviously won 2 coin tosses yesterday and lost both finals, so maybe that means something going into this one.
Well, let's take a walk. We've talked about SideOut Polonia, and we'll now have a talk about Malory Eagles, and we'll start. I think he should be ready, and I know you're going to hand over the microphone as we have a little chat with our good friend Mr. Ian Legrand. Afternoon, Ian. Obviously, we'll talk about yesterday a little bit. Inducting the Hall of Fame, you've had a long-standing career on all elements of the game. Just talk about, I know you don't like to talk about yourself, Ian, but just talk about your journey and kind of your progression still.
Obviously, honoured to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. I think it's a little known fact that I actually played against Don Anthony back in the day in the London League. And also Don Anthony was the lecturer at Avery Hill to my old coach George Pino. So I do have a link and an affinity to when I was coaching the England juniors, Don Anthony was a big supporter. So that, yeah, I could trace a lot back to Don.
Right, so, and Ian, obviously, we know the focus. Obviously, yesterday didn't go you where you wanted with the men, but this women's group's been so resilient all season. What do you need to do well today to beat a tough SideOut team?
Okay, both teams have scouted each other to the nth degree. I'm sure Polonia know what Jefferson had for breakfast. But bottom line's going to be about it's going to be a tight game, and it's going to be down to some individuals making big plays at critical times.
Well, we know it's going to be tight. You know you've got plenty of battles. We'll go and let you get ready. Thank you very much for your time, Ian. Thoughts of Ian Legrand and Alex. We'll start on the Malory coaching staff. They're just to our right, but there's so much experience on this team that's really helped this team grow and develop. As Carol Gordon takes a picture in the middle, as only Carol Gordon would.
Yeah, like so, as you say, so much experience in this group. Been doing this for a while, but I think also there'll be so many people watching at home whose volleyball journeys have been touched by this coaching staff. Whether it's coaches like myself and Alex Porter yesterday, who've been mentored by them, or players that have played for them, whether it's for Malory or for England. Just such a huge impact that they've had on the roots and on volleyball in this country over the years.
So let's talk about now the team that are going to try and win really the treble. We don't really award the league title anymore, but they were the regular season champions. They won the Final Four, not dropping a set, and now they're looking for the cup glory. What have you seen from the development of this team over the past few years? Because this core has stayed the same.
I mean, being brutally honest, adding Georgia McGovern at Christmas unlocked this team. Right, phenomenal setter, comes in, there's so many weapons in this group. And adding Georgia in allows them to play at tempo. It allows them to use the riches that they have offensively to make great plays and to really cause issues for any team that they're coming up against.
As Ari Sierra with the first kill, see the smile on her face, and we'll talk about the liberos, and we need to talk about Alana Yilmaz, but they're two of the more solid serve reception liberos in the league, but Ari Sierra is the key to this Malory serve receive unit.
Yeah, such a great all-round libero, phenomenal defender, but also a really great communicator in serve receive. I think it's that level of communication is massive for the passing stats of Chloe Allen. Right, Ari just goes in and bosses it. That's her domain. They let her do it, but they only let her do it because she's so good at communicating that across the game. It makes it so hard to break this passing unit down for Malory because Ari does such a great job communicating across the game.
Yeah, the side out loss. Ironically, Ari passed a 2-4, Chloe passed a 2-5, and that's normal for these two. Chloe Allen in the top 5 of serve receive, Ari clearly at the top, best libero in the league, but she didn't have a great Final Four by her own admission. She was okay, not great, but she's the type of person that doesn't let her phase, and she'll go out and try and attack this final.
I mean, Ari's so driven that she could pass a 3.0 and dig every ball and still say she didn't have a great game.
This is true.
There's a reason she's as good as she is, and it's because of that mentality of always trying to be better every single time she steps on court.
And obviously we talked about Jordan McGovern, the addition at Christmas, but Malory able to change up systems. They can run so many different systems because they've got George McGovern, they've got Claire Kellum that can set, they've got Selena Batiste who can set. So how much versatility is that given the Malory offense, adding McGovern, but being able to run different schemes and systems too?
It makes them really, really hard to prepare for. It also gives them an answer to any threat that you pose, essentially.
And obviously, we said McGovern setting, the one person she's formed the best connection with, arguably the best hitter on the Malory team, Grace Lazard in the middle, standout final, 9 blocks as well. Just talk about Grace's position, move back to a more natural opposite position, and how dangerous that is.
Oh, one of, if not the best players in the league. You know, just an absolute dominant force, so physical, so athletic, reads the game so well, like just so hard to game plan for.
And the depth of this Malory team, Jefferson Williams, just over to our right, I don't know if he'll hear us say this, but he said it's the number 1 asset they've got. They can make changes to when they need to play. The person that stepped up in that final was Cheka Tomoe. Talk about your game plan. It was clear you were going after Tomoe in serve receive, and she was just so solid and held up all day long.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to serve the 2 passes that are in the top 5 passes in the league, and you know, it's a risky game plan for us to go after Cheka, and she did stand up, and Malory were in system, and we couldn't live with them when they were in system.
And indeed, obviously, Tomoe had that kill to win the championship gold medal. And obviously, the core of that Malory team has been together. You know how it is working a program that you get that continuity. We saw it with some of your team this year, that growth. What stood out for you about Malory that's different this season? Why is this group the one that can potentially clean the whole awards up?
I think it's the mentality shift that's come. You know, yes, you had Grace and you had Ari, 2 born winners, players that know they can come in and perform. But you've seen other athletes that have been with this group start to buy into that now. They're starting to have some success, and rather than shrink away from it, they've just fully embraced the success and gone after it.
And obviously, I've known the Malory group for a couple of years. I was able to go into training a few times this year, and I think the difference is they understand how to win now. And that's a culture thing. When you know how to win, it breeds confidence, but you also believe nothing is doable. This group were focused because the one team they've lost to is this SideOut team. They don't like that, and that's just going to give them a little edge in that mentality. Can they be solid in what they do?
Oh, absolutely. They're fired up and they're ready for this one. I think it's going to be a great game.
We are about done here Alex, you're on the call for this one. Before I let you go upstairs, what is the one key element of this game do you see in game planning, in serve reception? What is going to be the difference in this final?
It will be, can Malory attack to space against SideOut? Can SideOut get Malory out of system?
Indeed. Well, that is us done at courtside. Alex, I'll let you go up and join Jess Smith, and we'll throw it back up to Jess in the commentary box.
Hope you guys enjoyed that bit of courtside introduction. Massive thank you to Michael Hansen-Morris and Alex Chenery, who will be joining me up in the commentary booth in just a moment's time. But first, we're going to talk about our ones to watch for today's match. So starting with Team SideOut Polonia, as you can see on your screen, we have Merv Aiken, who is their setter. She has made a massive difference to this team this season. And how she runs this offense today could be a very big determinant in how the team performs. We're going to see the speed of the offense that Polonia like to run. Merv does a really great job of keeping things varied rather than just relying on some of their power hitters, because obviously they've got Tukarenko with a massive hammer, but they have plenty of great options through the opposite, the outside, and the middle. So keeping things varied will be such an important part of their game today. But we can't talk about the one to watch for Polonia without talking about our one to watch for Malory Eagles, which we're going to get to in just a moment's time. So, of course, for Malory Eagles, it is their captain, number 4, Chloe Allen. Here you can see on your screen right now, getting ready to go and do some attacking as the teams are hitting through position number 2 right now. So Chloe Allen, massive, massive part of this squad. Huge, huge impact in every single match. So excited to see what happens with Chloe. She was really, really prolific in the Final Fours just a few weeks ago. Was one of our match MVPs for one of those matches, and a huge piece of what led the Eagles to taking home that gold medal on the day. So plenty of back and forth battles between these two squads. Sometimes we're going to 5 sets, sometimes we're not, but anything can happen on the day. It's cup finals, and Polonia have been here for the last 3 years in a row. Eagles, it's been a while for them, but they have been playing really strong recently, and they'll be looking to take home the cup. Right, I'm just going to be joined now by my co-commentator for this match, Alex Chenery of Essex Rebels Volleyball, who you just saw a few moments ago down on the court side, speaking with Michael Hansen-Morris. So, Alex, how much are you looking forward to this match today?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see these two teams square off. I've missed both regular season games because we had games on the same day, so I'm just excited to see what this matchup brings.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some fire on the court today. I was just saying to our fans at home that there's been plenty of back and forth battles between these two squads, but with it being cup finals, anything can happen.
Oh, 100%. You know, I know that SideOut will come with a plan. We just spoke about it. Being on the bench is a phenomenal scout, and they will have something prepped. But this Malory team has got so few weaknesses that it's going to be really hard to find that one area you can exploit.
Yeah, is there anything in particular you think we need to be looking out for that's going to be the determinant of performance between these two squads?
I think for SideOut, can they get Malory out of system? Grace Lazard's such a threat, the most efficient attacker in the Super League. If they can limit the number of chances she has to swing, you've still got to deal with Chloe Allen on the outside, but it gives you a shot in this game.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Chloe Allen, who's been so prolific during the season. attack percentage at about 24% coming into this Cup final. So, and she was a huge determinant in that performance they put up at the Final Fours just a couple of weeks ago. And then from the Polonia side, I feel like service reception is going to be a key bit for them. So Merv Aiken being our one to watch for Polonia. Obviously, the setter can do plenty, but if the pass is good, they can do even more.
Yeah, I think so. For them, I think out-of-system attacking is going to be massive as well. Can you get Mully and Tokarenko going out-of-system? If you can, it gives you an opportunity to score in an area that is the one question mark of this Malory team, right? They've got some really great attackers. If you're in system, if they're in system, they'll kill you. But if you can get them out of system, are they able to replicate enough of the scoring power that SideOut have from their outsides when Chloe Allen's in the back row? That's going to be the one key question.
Yep, completely agree with that. So we're just going to have the two teams prepare themselves to come onto the court. They're going to have a little bit of a presentation to one another. We're going to have an introduction of our two referees. Just as a reminder, my name is Jess Smith. I'm joined here today by Alex Chenery, and we will be your commentary team for this much anticipated Women's Cup final. I'm so excited for this match. I think this is the one that I've most been looking forward to for this weekend.
Yeah, I was really excited for the potential for the U18 final, but I think this has the potential to get crazy.
Yes.
Especially after last night's game.
Yes, it definitely does. Okay, so ahead of announcing our starting lineups for these two squads, we're just going to see our two referees. So in the first chair for today's match, we have Lenny Berry, and our second referee today is Peter Parsons. So again, we've had plenty of very experienced referees in first and second chair, as well as helping out with line judging and scoring this weekend. Great to see the volume of Volleyball England refereeing talent out there. I think we've had a pretty good showing from our refereeing, from our officiating staff this weekend. So starting with Malory Eagles, we have number 4, their captain, Chloe Allen, who we mentioned is our one to watch, followed by number 1, Beth Boyce, number 2, Selena Batiste, who made that swap to playing opposite this season, number 12, JoJo Cruz, number 5, Grace Lazard, who we just mentioned is so important through the middle, and of course, their setter, the new signing this season, number 17, Grace McGovern. And their incredible libero who put in a world-class performance at those Final Fours. We have Ari Sierra. And you can see the Eagles ladies are very excited to be out there on the court today. But next, we're going to have our starting 7 for Team SideOut Polonia. So these are our reigning Cup champions. Today we'll determine if they retain that title for 2 years on the trot. So starting with their captain, who is their libero, Laura Yilmaz. Then we have Abigail Russell. Their setter, Merv Aiken, number 3. Number 5, we have Carla Mully. Number 12, Alice Jagielska, who's just played in the under-18 finals, has just played 3 sets of volleyball. And then we have number 18, Yulia Tokarenko, who was a hammer of an outside hitter in the Final Fours. And then number 25, Valeria Busquets, to round out that starting 7. So good lineups for both squads. Full-on strong teams. Plenty to watch today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think JoJo Cruz starting for Malory is a semi-surprise in this one. Chika Tomoe obviously had a really good Final Four final against us. On the SideOut side, they have gone with Russell in the middle. You know, she probably, as I say, has the highest ceiling out of the 2 middles that could have started in this one.
Yep. This is definitely going to be an exciting battle. So we're going to have Malory Eagles to serve first to start us off. We'll get started in just a moment's time. see who's going to put the first point down and whether or not this is going to be another 5-set thriller for a cup final. So Boyce starts us off with a flat serve. That's a great slide. And then McGovern to the pipe. Chloe Allen straight away.
Yeah, really nice high-level play from both teams in this one. You know, Allen able to get the kill off the top of the net. That will be a nice little ease into the game for Malory, exactly what they would have wanted.
Boyce serves again. It's a good pass. And Mully with a hammer, but it is dug. Great chase from McGovern. So free ball to Polonia. And this time Mully goes over the top of Batiste.
Hey, we picked out Carla Mully as a difference maker for a reason. If it's this Carla Mully we're getting all day, SideOut have a shot in this game. She is unstoppable if she can hit with this much power and get this much height.
So Busquets to open up the serving for Team SideOut. Not the best of passes from Chloe Allen. So out of system, but Cruz off the hands.
Yeah, smart swing from Jojo Cruz. She plays super smart all the time, slightly undersized, not reaching super high, but finds those hands really well and scores really efficiently.
That's a great serve from Batiste. So very out of system for Polonia. Mully's blocked, but great coverage from Gielska. Nice pickup from Cruz. Allen from the pipe this time.
Yeah, didn't get a touch. Chloe Allen not quite looking in rhythm on that pipe attack so far. They've gone there a couple of times and just not quite been able to get the swing that she would have wanted to.
Aiken serves. That's a good pass there. Out to the slide from Grace Lazard. We saw that quite a lot in the Final Fours.
So hard to stop. Grace runs that with such great timing. The ball perfectly set. She's able to go into one of 3 different spaces and score, and so tough to stop.
Jojo Cruz's serve is well handled by Yilmaz. And Jagielska goes long.
Yeah, really different, really tough for Jagielska, who's just come from a game where they're running quite a fast tempo in the offense to the high ball offense that SideOut run. Going to be a tough change for her to have to make on the fly.
Mully from the opposite, well picked up by Sierra. And Lazard again on the slide.
SideOut have to find a way to get some touches on this slide defensively, otherwise it's just going to cut them to pieces.
Well, with McGovern in the front court right now, you would expect that Polonia will be tracking with her rather than the middles to start with, so just gives them a little bit more space. Tokarenko with a very smart tip, but great touch by Sierra.
Malory's ability to make touches defensively and make plays under chaos is just another string to their bow, another thing that makes them really, really tough to beat.
Mully serves, and a rare error from Sierra.
Yeah, if there's one ball that sometimes gets Ari, it's a ball that dies quickly in the air and then drops in front of her. It's a really, really tough ball to pass. She's starting very, very deep in serve-receive here.
Mully serves again, still aiming at Ari, but that's a better pass this time. Goes to the pipe again, but it's going to be a free ball back to Eagles. That's a good quick set out to Chloe Allen, but very well covered by Aiken. That's a very low set to Chloe Allen this time. Good coverage from Polonia's defense. And then good defense in return from Eagles as Chloe Allen puts the power on that swing.
Oh, that last set from Georgia McGovern is simply outstanding. Coming in, spinning off one foot, semi jump, fires it at tempo out. Chloe Allen, perfectly timed, hits high hands, unstoppable play.
Grace Lazard's serve goes long. She does have quite an effective serve when she can get it in. Just putting a little too much heat on it that time.
Yeah, but Malory will be confident in their ability to side out, so they can add pressure from the service line in that case.
Abigail Russell's serve onto JoJo Cruz, but that's a beautiful pass. And Chloe Allen takes full advantage of that exactly perfect located set.
Yeah, really smart side out that from Malory. Just really easing their way into this game now.
McGovern with a 1-5, aiming at Tokarico, and a miscommunication between Busquets and Aiken gives a free point to Eagles. McGovern, I think, still aiming at Tokarenko, but doesn't quite get the ball where she wants, but it's a hammer of a swing.
Yeah, I'm very, very glad that I've never had to be on the end of one of those. Just hits that ball so hard, so tough to play defense against.
That brings Jagelska to the backcourt to serve. And another one of those dipping float serves. And somehow Steph Boyce keeps that one in the court.
Smart play offensively there. Go to the middle, try and establish her a little bit. And Steph Boyce has played so much volleyball in this country, coached so much volleyball in this country. She sees the game so well, finds the space to score.
Yeah, Boyce just part of that coaching staff for Boswell. As Chloe Allen comes in with an ace. Another strong serve from Allen here. Out to Tokarenko again. Big hammer swing. You can hear a shout of tick, tick, boom from the crowd, and I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, again, just getting Tokarenko going and Mully going is going to be key for this side-out offense.
Tokarenko aiming at Cruz. And it goes out to Batiste, but that's great defense from Jagelska. It is an overpass. Back out to Batiste. Good defense from Polonia. Out to Mully. That's a big block.
Really lovely late press from Selena Batiste there.
Yeah, great adjustment following that first attack from Mully that went over the top of her. A little bit more of a pause this time before she jumps. Smart.
Outstanding low late block. Almost textbook there from Batiste.
Boyce serves. You can see Batiste, who previously was a setter, coming in with hands that time. Tokarico not quite getting the connection on that one she wanted. So
already starting to see some cracks in SideOut's body language, especially Tokarenko's body language on that court. That cannot happen against this Malory team. One of the things this Malory team does so well, they're so together, they're so hard to break as a team. Their unity, their togetherness is so strong. SideOut already, the body language starting to go. They're down 5, but it's only the first set. They've got to arrest that quickly, otherwise this is going to be a really, really quick game.
Yeah, you would expect at this point, Coach Kontopoulos is just talking to the ladies, trying to get them to mentally reset. Because you're right, it's only the first set. Yes, 5 points is a lot, but there's still plenty of match to be played. And we've seen teams, even this weekend, come back from greater deficits.
Oh, absolutely. Like, the set and the game's nowhere near over, but you just got to arrest those body language slides already.
So boys out of the timeout. Beautiful pass from Yilmaz. Another great block from Batiste. That's a beautiful defense from your middle. Aiken out for the slide to Busquets. And it goes into the gap between Cruz and Lazard.
Busquets is another one of these players for SideOut that can score, and if they can keep her, get her going, it will be much, much needed in this one.
And a tape roller is recovered, so we're out of system for Malory. But then an overpass gives them a free ball opportunity here. And Selena Batiste puts that down.
Poor blocking line here from SideOut. Mully takes the line when everything Batiste's body language says that she's going cross. You have to line up cross on her on those balls.
And this time Batiste just puts that ball wide. You can see them, though, consistently aiming for that front court outside in the service reception.
That's a classic Jefferson Williams game plan, that is. He loves to try and disrupt the number one attacker, which is that front court outside.
Similarly, though, Polonia seem to be really aiming at Cruz, who handles it well and then goes for the block out kill.
Both Malory outsides love to pass and then go swing straight away afterwards. It's not the game plan that I would bring in going after them in the pass.
Cruz serves this time at Mully. Gonna have a pipe from Tokarenko. Great defense from Batiste. That's a very low set, but somehow Polonia keep that up thanks to a great touch from Yilmaz. But then a rolling, easy shot from Chloe Allen is left.
Yeah, Malory just playing in a bit of a flow state right now. Really intentional, straight back onto court, straight back ready to play. So hard to bet against this team right now with the momentum that they have.
So Cruz serves again. Great pass there from Mully, who gets the ball back in return, but this time into the net.
SideOut just struggling to build any kind of rhythm and momentum right now in this game. Once Malory get up ahead of steam like this, they're so hard to stop.
Yeah, Malory looking in full control already. Playing in, like you said, a flow state. It's a great way to describe it. Polonia looking a little bit disheveled, and Malory taking full advantage of the little bit of chaos that's going on the Polonia side. So Coach Kontopoulos will be trying to do his best to get his ladies to mentally reset, but surely now he's thinking ahead to set number 2 with this 7-point spread about midway through set 1. He's got no timeouts remaining. He hasn't made any substitutions yet, though. He doesn't have options.
I'm not quite sure, though, where they change it, because right now it's so hard to attack this Malory team. They're just playing such great volleyball.
So Cruz gets it started again off of the timeout. Still aiming at Mully, but this time Yilmaz takes it. That set still for that B-ball looking a little too low.
Yeah, set a little bit low, set right into the zone that Grace Lazard loves to block. On those perfect passes, Grace loves to sit and stay on your middle, looking for that big stuff block, and is able to get it here. You've got to go somewhere else on those perfect passes against her.
So Cruz still targeting Mully here. This time she gets it back. And again, a huge miscommunication on Polonia's side there. Leads to Grace Lazard absolutely roofing Jagielska.
Just so much experience for Grace Lazard. Cheats over early, knows the ball's going to the pin, trap set inside, only going to be put on the floor by Lazard as Anna Rantala comes on for Alice Jagielska. Tough to play 2 finals back to back. Real big emotional energy sapper for Jagielska.
Flipping as well to opposite after playing outside in the last match. That's a beautiful pass from Yilmaz. And this time, Mully gets the better of Batiste. We're going to have a serving substitution here for SideOut Polonia. This is something that we've seen quite a lot this season as Carrie Millard comes in to serve for Carla Mully. Now, usually Millard comes in for one of the middles as a serving sub, so it's a bit odd that she's coming in for Mully.
This is the roll of the dice from Mark Kontopoulos. This serves so hard to pass.
So, and you can see there, Allen does struggle with it a bit, but Malory recovers well. Tokarenko is given an extremely wide set.
Huge for Malory to slide that ball out there. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, that almost slide approach of Carrie Millard's serve is quite difficult to handle. Grace Lazard's serve is well handled. And straight to the middle this time with Abigail Russell getting her first kill of the set.
When Lazard's off, you have to try and score in and around the middle of the court. Becomes really, really tough as a setter. If you've got no middle against this Malory block, it's so strong on the pin.
Russell serves. Decent pass there from Cruz. And then we're going to have a center line fault called on Busquets.
Seeing this get called more and more, when the middles land, they put their foot down to try and turn. That foot goes underneath the net over the line, and that is a center line violation called.
Yep, and then as you were just telling us about that, we've just seen that Merv Aiken's been swapped out for second setter Scandali. McGovern serves. Scandali goes straight out to Rantala. And the line judge didn't see where that one landed. The first referee determining that the block was in. So big block for Eagles there.
Yeah, really nice lineup. You can't take on these hands. They're so good at closing the block and forming it well in front of you.
McGovern again. And another misconnection between Scandali and Busquets this time.
It's all unraveling very, very quickly here for SideOut. They've got to find a way to create some breathing room for themselves.
Yeah, 11-point spread at this point. Unlikely to come back in set number one, but if they can get themselves some momentum to take into set number two. So scramble play straight out to Rantala, who somehow gets it down the front of Boyce.
Anna Rantala hits from that slightly lower height. We've been talking about it all weekend. Almost hitting up into the block, finding some space to ease the ball down and make the play.
So Rantala's first serve of the set. She's aiming at Cruz as well. So McGovern has to chase that ball down, and Allen, well out of system, puts that, excuse me, that was Batiste. Well out of system, puts that ball out.
SideOut haven't got Malory out of system anywhere near enough. Mid-system isn't good enough. McGovern's too good of a setter. She'll get her hittable balls in the mid-system. You've got to get them way out of system if you want to slow down this offense.
So free ball over to Polonia here. Rantala goes to Busquets on the slide. Great defense by McGovern, but that set is very tight for Batiste. She does well to get it over the net. Tokarenko this time, misconnection.
Yeah, Yulia got a little bit wild here in this first set so far.
So Allen serve at Millard, who's still in, and then Busquets straight through the gap in that block.
Her second kill of the game. Really started to make some movement here, but 9 errors so far from SideOut in this set. They're down 9 points. It's been the big story so far as Carla Mully checks back into the game in this one.
Yeah, just as rotationally, Mully's now in the front court, so it makes sense to swap them back, although Miller did a great job in defense as she came in. Good press from Sierra, and McGovern trying to go for a cheeky tip. Polonia tip in return. So then Eagles through the pipe. And again, Rantala taking advantage of the fact that the block doesn't seem to be pressing quite hard enough.
Yeah, the beach background that Anna Rantala has really coming into play there in these chaotic situations.
Cruz passes well here. Batiste, smart swing. So that brings up set point for the Eagles. We've got Steph Boyce back at the service line. Serving at Mully. And then Rantallo through the pipe. Well covered by McGovern. Cruz puts in a strong swing on an open net, but it's well defended by Tokarenko. And then Mully is absolutely roofed again by Batiste.
Selena Batiste here just lines up Carla Mully really well. She has done ever since that first swing that Mully was able to get past her down the line. Taking the line well, Lazard closing well, Malory blocking side out of the game here.
Right, we're going to take a brief break for just a moment or two, and then we will rejoin you guys in just a second. All right, guys, I'm joined now by Sam Shenton of Newcastle Knights. So, Sam, great season for both your teams this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Fantastic season across the board. I think the icing on the cake was the women finally up to the Super League. It's been back-to-back promotions, both really strong every time. Part of that Div 2 North journey was through Sunderland University as well, and then Newcastle University took on the team this season. And then the men making Final Four and having that experience with Crystal Palace was awesome. And yeah, been a great year. They've worked unbelievably hard. A lot of support staff around Newcastle University and Northumbria University, and volunteers helping out, making sure it's a success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 17 wins out of 18 matches for the ladies this season. Huge for the promotion for you guys. And of course, like you said, the men making it to the Final Fours. It was great to watch them in person. You know, did some commentary with Neil as well, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, congratulations on the promotion and the performance for the men's team this year. Anything in particular that you think is really feeding into that growth for the club?
The growth is probably the best word we could have used then, because I think the growth of the competition within Volleyball England, like all this stuff here, I think I can see 95 cameras up on this balcony, is all feeding into the universities wanting to invest in the sport, plus sponsorship, plus all that side. I think growth is absolutely the key word. Players want to train more because they know the competitions we're fighting for, as well as all the social media and all that kind of stuff that these kids are into, you know?
Yes, definitely. So thank you so much for your time, Sam. Congratulations again, and yeah, thanks for the
Ideal.
talking
Thank you very
with
much,
us.
guys.
Cheers. Right, just gonna head back. Okay, we are back again here as we're just about to kick off set number 2 in this match. So we saw Malory take set number 1 very comfortably. And we're just going to see what happens in set number 2. So 25-15, that set line score in set 1. Pretty even on the kills between the two sides, but it was the 4 blocks that Malory put in and the number of errors that Polonia committed during set number 1 really making that difference. We've got Carla Mully starting us off for set 2, and immediate ace on Chloe Allen.
Side out shifted their 2 outsides around. Yulia Tokarenko was playing as the P2. She's now moved next to the setter, playing as the P1.
Yeah, we can see that Jagelska's made her way back on the court after being subbed off for Rentala, who I thought played quite well. Maybe she just needed a bit of a break as Molly puts that one long.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've gone back with Alice. At the start of this set, I thought Rantala had a big impact when she came on, like you say.
Yeah. Unsurprising, there's no changes on the Malory Eagles side for this second set as Selena Batiste gets us started off again. And this time, JoJo Cruz.
When you set the slide, if that ball dies inside, like this set does, it becomes really, really hard for your middle attacker to go anywhere other than cross. Cruz sees that, lines it up really, really well, and makes the block.
Yep. Batiste serving still at Tokarenko. They're still aiming for that front court outside, which we mentioned. And this time, it looks like the block is out. Again, the line judge can't quite see that one. But a great swing there from Tokarenko.
That was really close. I think it did just land out.
So that brings Busquets to the service line. And that dipping float serve, a second ace on Chloe Allen in this set already.
Yeah, really, really good dipping float serve, dropping short. Malory's passing unit starting very, very deep. When you start deep, that short serve is an absolute killer. Much easier to start higher up the court and track backwards on the deep serve than it is to move forward to pass the short serve.
Yeah, completely agree with that. And you'll be pleased to know that Tara King said something very similar yesterday when we were commentating together.
Good, she's listening in practice then.
Great swing there from JoJo Cruz to get the serve back for Malory Eagles. Brings herself back to the service line. Molly with her own shank pass, but it's recovered, so she'll get it back as a pipe. An easy rolling shot is well defended. Polonia out to Tokarenko with another hammer, this time inside the block for a cross-court swing.
Every time SideOut are out of system, they have to get Tokarenko off the net like this, take the block out of the game as much as possible, let her go angle with that heavy arm, try and put the ball on the floor.
Aiken serving short this time, but great pass from Allen. Gets herself up quick enough to defend that, to attack that one. And this time Jagielska with a much better swing than we saw in the last set.
Yeah, this is really, really strong out of system play. When you've got McGovern and Lazard on one side, you want to be off the net out of system. When it's just one-on-one against Chloe Allen, you want to be tight so that Jagielska can punch that ball through the block like she did there.
Aiken serves again, still aiming at Allen. With a great swing from Allen there. And it looks like the line judge says the ball's out. First referee overrules the call, says the ball touched the court. So great swing there from Allen.
Good strong refereeing from Lenny Barrier.
Yeah, showing his years of experience. That's a very strong and flat serve from Lazard. But Jagielska comes in with a cross-court of her own.
Alice is heating up into this game. We saw her have one really quiet set in the U18 final. But you know, being on this stage doesn't faze her. She's played in countless national finals now throughout her years as a junior and now a senior.
Tokarenko serves. They're still aiming at Allen, and they get the benefit of another ace.
Really uncharacteristic, this from Chloe Allen. But if you're SideOut, you've got to hunt now. You've got to hunt the aces against Allen.
Tokarenko again at Allen. Much better pass this time. So they're going to put in a pipe that's just a little too hot for Tokarenko.
And JoJo Cruz brings so much energy to whichever team she's playing in. Really great pipe swing there. And then the celebration to match, just really revving up her teammates.
McGovern aiming at Tokarenko, and that's overpass. It looks like it hits Merv Aiken in the head. It's going to be called for a backcourt block.
Yeah, Aiken, a backcourt setter. whenever you pass that ball tight, going into the overpass, you leave your setter open to an easy point off them.
McGovern serves again. This time Yilmaz able to get in front of Tokarenko for that ball. But Eagles left a gap in that block.
Yeah, really smart matchup play, moving Mully to the P2 spot, matching her up against this block of Boyce and Batiste, rather than having to go up against Lazard and McGovern.
Yeah, just a slight delay here. I have a bit of a towel going on. Make sure that the court is not slick. Don't want to have any injuries. As we've got Abigail Russell on the service line for Team SideOut. They're currently in the lead. And misconnection again with the middle. And then Jagelska on a one-on-one versus Batiste.
That's what Alice does so well. If you give her high hands to swing, she's going to find a way to score off of you, especially when she's balanced and has time to attack like she did there.
Yeah, so we're going to have an early timeout here from Coach Jefferson Williams. Unsurprising, considering what's happening so far in this set compared to the way that set number 1 went. So Team SideOut, I agree with you. The swap of the P1, P2 for the outsides has clearly made a difference. It just made it that little bit more difficult for the Malory team to set their defense. Just something different to look at. So.
Yeah, very uncharacteristically for SideOut. They probably came out in the wrong rotation, and Malory didn't change anything from what they did at Final Four, whereas now they've got that rotation right, using the resources that they have there, and got the opportunity to come in and make a difference. That's good, mate.
So we're going to have Russell again here after that timeout. Still aiming at Allen, but that's a much better pass there. Batiste with a great swing, which I think might have been going out, but there was a net touch from Busquets. This time Yilmaz with an error on the pass, which means that Mully has to put over a free ball to Eagles. And Batiste with the one-on-one versus Mully. Great swing. This goes out to Jagelska again. This punch is blocked.
Yeah, Jagelska's England teammate Jojo Cruz going up, making a huge block on her there. You've seen that one in practice a couple of times, and just able to use that knowledge of playing together with England for success.
And a service error from Allen is a bit of a let-off for Team SideOut. Jagelska, that's a very flat serve, but perfectly handled by Sierra.
Malory have done a really, really good job of siding out quickly in these games. Just finding ways to score in the first swing, finding ways to score that get momentum going really, really fast for them.
So Steph Boyce aiming at Carla Mully. Busquets on the slide. Seems to be unstoppable at the moment.
It's a really, really tough ball to block here because she's so good. When that ball is in the window of either going line or cross, because of the way you line up the hitter for the slide, so different from every other attack, it becomes a really, really tough one to get up and block effectively.
Mully with a flat serve. They're still aiming at Allen, trying to throw her off. But Grace Lazard with an open net.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't leave Grace Lazard 1-on-0 because this ball's only going to one spot, and that is right into the middle of the court. Really, really great set from McGovern as well. Just that pause in the air, holding the opposition middle.
Batiste Serving at Yilmaz this time. Busquets on the slide again.
Hey, these two middles going bang for bang is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I think Busquets taking out a little bit of frustration with herself on that ball on that one after not making it to get up against Grace Lazard in the previous point. She puts a bit of heat on that serve as well, gets the overpass. Collision on the Eagles side. Looks like everybody's okay.
Suddenly, SideOut open up a 3-point lead without really having to do much that's too flashy, just playing really consistent volleyball.
And then a bit long from Busquets, who turned to Coach Kontopoulos to say, was that in? Which was an interesting choice, considering how far out that ball was. So SideOut still have a lead. Tokarenko with a decent pass. That's a very long slide for Russell. Containing block touch from Aiken. And another really awkward ball for Russell. Means that Lazard gets mostly a free net there.
Georgia McGovern is so good at setting this ball when there's chaos going on all around her. She just looks so unflustered the whole time, is able to slow the game down for Malory and just create something better, betters the ball on every touch that she has.
Cruz aims at Tokarenko again. This time we're going to have a pipe. Mully this time gets the free net.
Hey, these offenses have become so complex, so much 4-on-3. You know, if you can get that back row attacker going, you have 4 attackers versus 3 blockers. It becomes really hard to give enough attention to everybody.
Aiken aiming at Allen again. Gets out to Lazard for a slide, but that's a great defensive touch from Jagelska. And then Lazard, second time of asking on the C ball.
Yeah, we look here, McGovern, perfect set, Tokarenko, not quite, she was waiting, trying to go out for the slide. Great vision to see it and just pop that ball up for Lazard to kill.
Tough serve, but Yilmaz does well with that. Good defense from Cruz. Great touch there from Jagelska to keep that ball alive. Confusion on the Malory side. Not something that we see very often. Huge swing from Tokarenko, and McGovern puts that ball over on 2. And it looks like there's a net touch. And the call goes against Steph Boyce.
Malory just got to be a little bit careful with some of their reactions to these points. You know, Lenny Barry, a referee that is known for giving out a card or 2 if people step over the line. He's not afraid to get the cards out and make a play.
Tokarenko from the service line. Allen trying to cut that one down a line that didn't exist.
Chloe Allen's been all out of sorts in this second set. I wonder if Jefferson Williams will look to his bench to just maybe try and get back into this set a little bit. Chica Tamoy had a really good Final 4, but Chloe Allen's been so consistent all year, I think he'll struggle to bring her out of this game.
So Cruz trying to take that ball from the pipe with no room for an approach, just puts it a bit long. We've got a string of 3 errors in a row from Eagles leading to a timeout.
SideOut Polonia done a really good job here of keeping Malory out of system in the last 5 or so points. You know, not allowing them any big momentum plays, any big swing kills, you know, making life a little bit tougher for them. That's what they've got to keep doing in this game if they want to get the win.
Yeah, there's a 4-point spread between the 2 teams right now, and Eagles have put up 5 errors in this second set, so you can see just how tight it is, and they're really giving the points away as things stand right now. So that was Coach Jefferson Williams' second timeout. None remaining headed into the business end of set number 2. Tokarenko's still on the service line. Still aiming at Allen there. Does well, and then puts down a great cross-court swing.
This is really, really good setter play from Georgia McGovern, right? The pass comes in, it's a little bit tight. She just gives Allen a little bit more time, leaves that cross-court swing that Chloe Allen loves to hit open, right? Your attacker's not quite in the rhythm of the game yet. Give her the set that she loves to swing on.
Out to Jagelska. Oh, that's a great touch from Sierra. And Batiste with a bit of a lucky shot rolling off the tape.
What a play this is from Ari Sierra. The reactions to go and get that ball after it goes off hands is outstanding.
McGovern serves again. Still aiming at Tokarenko there. Great block cover by Yilmaz, but it's going to be a bit of a scramble.
It looks to be a little bit of confusion here on the scorers table. We're just going to wait and see what comes from this one.
I think it's to do, there's a score off in the back, and I think they've got it the opposite way around to the way that they have it at the scoring table. So it says 17-16, which is correct for the side of the court that they're on if you're looking at it from our angle. But maybe the scoring table doesn't want it that way. I'm not exactly sure. They seem to have sorted it out anyway. Officials seem happy. So McGovern, Yilmaz trying really hard to get in front of Tokarenko to take that ball.
Yeah, just underset there in the middle, and Russell can't get any kind of play on it. Everything happening a little bit too fast right now for side out.
Great pass there from Yilmaz. And a much better connection this time between Aiken and Russell.
Much, much better set here. Gives Abby Russell the time that she needs to get up, pick her spot, and put the ball on the floor.
Russell serve. Allen's pass is still not the best. That set looked a little too wide for Selena Batiste. And a great swing there from Jagelska.
Yeah, again, opening up the space against the big block out system. Side out have started to do this really well in this set, and Jagelska comes in, sees the block is taking away her line, hits hard cross court to get the point.
This time Russell at Sierra, but smart play from Steph Boyce.
Really, really smart play. That set has to be perfect for that to happen. It is perfect. Boyce goes up and is able to put the ball on the floor.
Chloe Allen aiming at Tokarenko and finally getting the ace that Eagles have been looking for the whole match. And that brings us level for the first time throughout most of the set. Yilmaz this time taking that ball. And Busquets with a great connection.
Side out have got a game plan that's starting to work here. You know, when Steph Boyce is in, let's run through the middle channel, middle channel, middle channel. As soon as Grace Lazard comes in, right, stay away, let's go to the pin. Really try and change up what they're doing depending on who's in the front row for Malory.
Jagelska going short this time. Cruz barely picks it up, but Allen's going to have to try and put that ball over for free ball for Polonia. And a huge one-on-one block. Batiste really has Mully's number today.
Yeah, she's doing a really, really good job of getting in front of Carla Mully in this game. Just reads the attacker so well. Kellum coming in as the serving sub now for Malory in 4 points. Kellum, a student at UEL this year.
Aiming at Mully, who gets it back as a really high, really tight ball. And Batiste still having Mully's number on that.
Batiste having a really, really strong game now, leads all players in scoring with 8. And Coach Mark Kontopoulos starting to show some issues here now.
Yep, so this is his second time out for this set. I'm sure that Coach Kontopoulos here will be a little bit disappointed that his ladies have let their lead slip. They're currently down 1 point to Malory Eagles. Feels like they really need to win this set to keep themselves really in this, you know, from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, I think this is a big 4 or 5 points that come out this timeout now. If SideOut can go and get back in the ascendancy, level up the game, suddenly Malory start to feel a little bit of pressure. If Malory come through this, I think they sweep through the game 3-0.
Yes, they could quite easily do. Volleyball is a massive game about momentum. So Kellum serves again. Good pass from Mully this time. And a bit of a miss between Aiken and Busquets this time.
Yeah, really uncharacteristic hitting error from Valeria Busquets.
Yeah, now we'll see the double substitution with Rantala coming in as a front court opposite and Scandali coming in to be a backcourt setter.
Michelle Daniel coming in on the outside for Malory. She'll be a little bit of a blocking sub, a little bit of a front court sub for them. Had a great performance in the Final Four bronze medal game last season.
So aiming at Mully again here, and Rantala, great swing.
Rantala really, really good at finding the gaps in the block. Again, those beach days, able to see so much when she goes up to swing. Miller coming on to serve for Mully. Repeat of the substitution we saw in the first set.
I don't think it's actually a bad idea to do this because it's giving Polonia a little bit of shoring up of the defense and the service reception as well, because, you know, Miller's quite good in the pass. It's a very flat serve. And then Batiste into the net.
This serve, Miller's serve, is really, really good at getting the opposition out of system. And the more you have to play out of system, the tougher it becomes to make plays. Jojo Cruz back into the game, trying to shore up this passing unit a little bit for Malory.
Yeah, it's a great pass from Cruz. And look at that height from Lazard. Wow.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful play in the middle there. Fantastic set from Georgia McGovern, but it's Jojo Cruz coming back off the bench, passing what is a really, really tough serve perfectly, allowing Malory to make the play in the middle, get their best attacker swinging on that ball.
Batiste aiming at Yilmaz. And then a one-handed set from Scandali.
Huge momentum play for SideOut. Lots of emotion coming from their sideline right now. Scandali using that one hand to just pop the ball up. And Busquets puts it away 1-0.
Yeah, we've got a race to 2 here. Great there from Sierra to stay over there to see where Rantala was going to put that ball.
That's a fantastic set from Scandali. Just puts the ball where only Russell can kill it. Russell using that float route. Starts off as if she's running an A quick and just floats outside the middle block of Lazard. It's the one way. If you're an undersized middle and you're going up against the middle that's far bigger than you, got far higher reach, use those pop and those float routes to just move you around into space to swing. Very American way of playing.
Yes, it was. That's a good serve there from Busquets. Out to the slide for Lazard. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see us up in the booth, but everybody's just had a visible cringe as Tokarenko just got an amazing containing block touch on that ball, and then it falls to the ground.
What Mark Kontopoulos is feeling right now, I feel it with him. Really great short serve that from Jojo Cruz.
And Lazard with the hammer. All right, so Malory's first set point of this set. We're going to have another blocking substitution now. Got McGovern coming off, so there's no setter on court for the Eagles.
Owarie comes in. Lazard will probably block in zone 2, I would have thought here. Selena Batiste will step in and set.
Out to Millie, but that's a good pass from her. And Tokarenko hits Jefferson Williams in the foot with that one, giving set number 2 to Malory Eagles.
Jefferson Williams is so far in his coaching bag of tricks today. That was fantastic to see. Really, really smart substitutions, smart timeout plays. Malory look like they're on for a 3-0 sweep in this final.
Yeah, much better performance from Polonia in that second set. They've tied it up a few bits, but still struggling against the perfection that the Eagles are putting out there right now. We're going to take a break for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back for set number 3.
Okay, we have Victoria and Charlie here who are going to come on court and quickly play a game. My good volunteer friend, can you pass me 2 balls out of that basket, please? 2 balls out of the basket. Okay, you two come in quickly. Okay, right, you need a ball each. Nice and easy, okay? We're going to play a game. Okay, it's going to be a race. Okay, so the first person to back here wins the race. But you're going to run over there, okay? But you have to throw the ball over the net, go under the net, catch the ball to pass the net. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. Then you got to, yes, you have to do it coming back. If it bounces, it doesn't count. You have to try and get. There you go. You got to be quick. Okay, make some noise if you think Victoria's gonna win. Make some noise. And if you think Charlie's gonna win, make some noise. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, off we go, ladies, let's go. Now, that wasn't quite it. But now you go. It bounced. You're cheating. Okay, come back, restart. Alright, you're very eager, you got it completely wrong, right? You have to throw the ball over, go under the net, catch it, go across. Not from here when you get near the... Okay, kind of. Right, 3, 2, 1, off you go. Make some noise for everyone, let's go. There you go, you got it. That was good. But you got to go to the other side. You're losing the race. There you go. I think we have a winner, everyone. I think he's in some garage as well. We got a monster block and stuff. Congratulations. Are you having a good time today? I'll keep it, that's fine. Okay, once again, everyone, if you're ready for the third step, let me hear you make some noise, let's go!
Welcome back for set number 3 of the Women's Cup final here, where we're just about to find out if Malory Eagles can retain their power here for this final set, take it in 3 sets, or if Polonia will continue to build on the momentum that they started to have in set number 2, where they even got themselves to having a set point, but then let it slip at the last moment to lose that one 26-24. Just a bit of an update for you guys on the stats. So Chloe Allen at the moment with 9 points is leading things. She's got 6 kills, 1 block, and 2 aces. But then Selena Batiste for her team as well, coming in with 5 kills and 3 blocks. And I think all 3 of those were against Carla Mully. Very impressive stuff as we get started for set 3. Out to Tokarenko on the opposite side. Decent touch by McGovern, but Batiste is not able to play that one out of the net. So we've got a change on the Polonia side this set with Abigail Russell playing to the outside, which we have seen a couple of times this season.
Very interesting, Mully at opposite. We said in the pre-game, if Bell matches up against Lazard, it's not going to be very pretty for SideOut, and that seems to be the trap that they've fallen into a little bit here.
Yeah, you can see right here, Lazard's well over the top of Bell. Batiste serves at Tokarenko. That's a good pass, though. Mully has to tip that ball. McGovern's taking a swing. Russell does well to cover it. Then a rolling shot from Mully is well picked up by Sierra. Cruz with a hammer of a swing. Lazard on the slide. Abigail Russell almost gets out there, but doesn't quite make it far enough to the pin.
Yeah, Malory just playing with so much speed that it's so hard to defend against them.
Really big credit to Georgia McGovern out here running a very impressive offense despite not having perfect passes every time. She has such great ball control. Good pass again from Tokarenko, with Russell taking a touch off the block there.
Yeah, definite touch is a really good swing.
Yeah, great spot by our first official.
But I actually like that, though, from referee Lenny Barry. He was calm, he took his time, got all the information he needed, and made the decision. And it was the right decision.
Bell's first serve goes into the bottom half of the net. So Jojo Cruz from the baseline. Aiming at Mully again, who comes in with a good swing, and that was just inside the line.
Exactly what SideOut need is to get Carla Mully going a little bit more than they have been able to in this game so far.
Yeah. Just a couple of other notes about things that have changed. So Sagandali has retained her position as a setter for Polonia, as Mully has been moved into opposite. Big swing there from Chloe Allen.
This is why you have to get Malory out of system, right? In system, Lazard's such a threat, you have to have 2 blockers on her. That leaves Chloe Allen one-on-one, and she's always putting the ball away one-on-one.
Lazard here aiming at Yilmaz. Rare error from her, so it's going to be a free ball back to Malory. To Batiste in the backcourt. Takes an awkward roll off the tape. Mully does well to get a hand on it, but that ball is shanked out. Interesting to see that Lazard's not aiming at the stack, where Scandali's going to have to move from position 4 over to kind of position 2.5. That one going a bit long.
Malory will be absolutely fine. with Grace Lazard ripping that serve over. It gives them so much potential to score.
Russell serves. Briefly forgets that she's supposed to be defending in 6. But a smart tip from Allen puts that ball away.
Yeah, Chloe Allen starting to see the field a little bit more, starting to play this game a little bit more now. Really starting to get into rhythm and that smart offense that she has that go alongside the hard-driven swings.
McGovern aims at Tokarenko, who comes in with a smart long tip that time. That's a very low set for Allen. She does well to keep that in the court. Great read there from Sierra. And this time it's Steph Boyce on the B-ball.
Yeah, great play from Steph Boyce there.
Smart setting there from McGovern. A little delay on the sideline here. So there's a bit of moisture off the court. Good pass there from Yilmaz. But that set from Scandali almost at the post.
Yeah, now Malory up 4 points and rolling this momentum. If SideOut can't address it quickly, is going to run away from them this set and end the game.
McGovern still serving at Tokarenko. That's a great pass. Much better set this time from Scandali, but then Tokarenko looking a bit deflated there.
Yeah, just unable to get on top of that ball and hits it hard and way out in the end. 9-4 Malory, timeout called.
Yeah, big 5-point lead for Malory, who are already leading by 2-0. This is the moment. Either Mark Kontopoulos' side could turn things around right now, go on a points run, get themselves back into this set, or it's definitely going to be over in 3. Ladies just be heading back out on the court. The Malory ladies looking quite relaxed, confident, happy to make their way back out there. Faces on the Polonia side looking a bit more flat. We're just going to have Georgia McGovern kick us back off after that timeout. Still serving at Tokarenko. It's very tight. Then a rolling shot from her as well, picked up by Sierra.
Smart.
Answers from Tokarenko there. As there's an ace, so we're going to have Mully pulled into the service reception. Tokarenko is going to step forward and out.
Great serve, Chloe Allen. Deep on Alari.
Free ball. What will Eagles do with this one? Allen to the pipe. Well defended. Tokarenko, much better swing that time.
Yeah, that's set exactly where she wants it to be, in that window where she can go up and with a high arm really rip into the ball. Finds high on the block. Really, really tough ball to stop, that is.
Yeah, Tokarenko relatively quiet in this match. Only 6 kills, which is probably half as many as we would normally have seen from her by this time. Scandali aces Arisera.
Again, that just ball that drops in front of Ari is such a hard ball to pass, right? We're really nitpicking, saying that it's a weakness for her, but you know, a couple of times today, that's the ball that she's been beaten by.
And beaten by it again, as that one's an overpass, and Bell puts down a smart ball off of that one.
Timeout, Jefferson Williams, just to probably give his team a little bit of a break and let them regroup as they go into this next set of the game.
He just doesn't want them to give away any more of that lead. I mean, they were up 7 points just a few moments ago at 12-5. So good run from SideOut, which we were saying after their timeout they really needed. So they have started on that run. Can they keep that momentum and keep themselves in this set, potentially push it to 4 or even 5? That's a long serve from Scandali, so coach's point goes to Jefferson Williams for that one. Steph Boyce serving at Yilmaz. Error there, so it's going to be free ball to Eagles. Smart to try and target Lazard, but then she connects with that ball anyway. And scramble on Polonia's side again. A little bit of chaos over there.
Grace Lazard's 2 years playing as an opposite, coming into play there, really comfortable taking the first ball on her platform. Makes it so hard to put the ball over to take her out the offense in any way.
So Boyce again, great pass there from Yilmaz. And Mully looking really confident that time.
Yeah, just found the swing that she wanted to go off those hands. Such a hard ball to play defense against, and Batiste there just losing out in the height battle.
Tokarenko from the baseline, targeting Cruz. And a misconnection, rare, between McGovern and Lazard. Out to Mully and the opposite. Great swing from her. All right, in the commentary stats, I'm putting that down as a kill for Carla Mully, but there was a net touch called.
Yeah, but Mully just starting to heat up into this game. You know, great set, goes wide, makes it really hard to get a stable block up for Malory.
So I bring that gap down to 4 again. Beautiful pass there from Allen. And an error from Batiste. I think that might be her first error in the match. Allen aced again. Great serve there from Tokarenko. Good points run here for Polonia. Bringing that gap down to 2 as we see Chica Tamoy come on for JoJo Cruz.
If I'm side out here, I'm going straight after that same seam again, though, between the two outsides.
Beautiful pass there from Allen. No stopping that ball.
It's just unplayable. Absolutely unplayable, this center middle connection from Malory.
I mean, perfect pass from Allen. Huge gap in that block.
That ball went down at what, 8 feet? 7, 8 feet in the court.
Batiste aiming at Tokarenko. Out to Russell. Great defense there, but it's over the net, so free ball for Polonia. And Mully, who's been the hot hand, gets another kill.
Yeah, smart play, just overloading Carla Mully, who's able to score right now for SideOut. They're back in this set because of what she's been able to do the last 3 or 5 points.
As we see Millard come back on as that serving substitution. Great pass from Sierra. And Lazard still over the top of that block.
Yeah, she's really heating up into this game now. Every time SideOut come back close, they just give Lazard a couple of swings and she's scoring over and over again for Malory.
We just had a reversal of that serving substitution. And now Chika Tamoy with her first serve of today's match. Out to Mully for an out-of-system swing. Tough ball to hit.
Yeah, Allen and Lazard really put up a nice block there as well on that ball. Malory just easing away in this one now.
Good pass there from Yilmaz. That's a very low set for Busquets, and Chloe Allen just apologizing to her teammate. She knows she took a big chunk of the net there. They still have a comfortable lead. It's not massive, but it's comfortable. All they have to do is side out between now and the end of the the end of the set to finish out this match. And we're going to have a double substitution here on the Polonia side. We saw this the other way around previously. So we've got Jagielska coming back into the front court as an opposite, with Aiken coming in as the backcourt setter. Aiken aiming at Allen again, who gets it straight back. Tokarenko in the right position, but not getting the angle of her platform quite there.
Big swing from Chloe Allen. This Malory offense just humming along right now. Every decision made by setter Georgia McGovern is the right one.
As we see Killam come back in again for Grace Lazard to serve. Good set to Russell, but well defended by Eagles. Great defense there from Jagielska. Great from Tamoy as well. Out of system. Smart tip from Russell, but there's not a middle in the backcourt right now. Great defense there. And somehow that ball is kept alive, but a center line violation called on Chloe Allen as she tried to recover that ball after a
Crazy chaos plays there from Malory. Somehow keeping the ball alive over and over and over again.
some great reactions from them, some beautiful defense from Chika Tamoy, who's had a real impact since coming on in the set. Russell aims at that seam and gets an ace for it. Side out, bring that gap down to just 1 point. And this time Russell puts that one into the bottom half of the net.
So tough to follow up an ace with a serve like that. You know, you have the opportunity to tie up this set and start to create some doubt, get yourself back into it, and the service error is such an easy out for Malory Eagles.
McGovern serve, well handled. What a connection there between Aiken and Busquets.
Yeah, good pass, and Aiken just goes up, sets Busquets so that gives her the opportunity to swing into space. So hard to stop in that moment.
Sierra puts one wild. We've got an ace there from Busquets. Timeout here for Malory. As we're tied up now at 18 all. Second referee just reminding Jefferson Williams that that was his second timeout. He has none remaining for the whole of this set. Shanked pass there from Sierra, so we're going to be out of system. Allen with a two-handed push. Well picked up from McGovern there. Good touch from Russell. Busquets with her own two-handed push, but it does mean that McGovern's not running the offense this time. Scramble play from Polonia here. Again, out of system for Eagles. And a big swing from Allen right when they needed it.
Yeah, really patient play from Malory Eagles there. Side out, unable to craft a top swing, and Malory just lying in wait until they get that opportunity to put the ball on the floor.
Allen serves at Russell, but that's a great pass from her. Jagielska, I think, lost that ball for a moment, and a bit of a miscommunication between Sierra and Allen.
That's what Casey Bell brings you as side out, super smart, sees the court really well, doesn't get flustered, was a big part of the Durham team, didn't play loads in that Durham team that was so successful last year, but was a huge leader on and off the court as part of it.
Boyce does well to keep that one in play. Tokarenko looked really happy with that set, and Sierra's dig into the ceiling.
Side out, finally get up one in this set. That's going to be huge for their psyche. They have to close this one out, obviously. Otherwise, Malory Eagles will sweep their way to a double.
Yeah, 5 of the last 7 points going the way of side out, as we just see JoJo Cruz make her way back on the court.
Interestingly, the double sub not reversed.
Good pass from Cruz there. Good connection with Boyce.
Again, that really nice float route coming from Steph Boyce in the middle.
We're just going to see a reversal of that substitution that we had for service where Kellum had come in for Lazard. So Lazard back in the front row. Eagles will be happy with this rotation. With Boyce up to serve. Tokarenko with a rolling shot, but Lazard well watched. And that time going on the inside of Lazard.
Huge swing. That, no way Steph Boyce is getting a dig on that ball. If you leave her the option to hit inside, she will hit hard to that position at zone 5.
Tokarenko with a short serve, but that's a good pass by Allen. And that connection between McGovern and Lazard looking still pretty solid, but that ball maybe a little too low. Lucky trip of the tape.
Lazard uses it really well. But it's a great decision to go back to the middle, to the efficient point scorer when you're a point down like they were.
Batista Tokarenko. It's a good set. And Abigail Russell not getting a good connection that time.
Yeah, it's very tough for Russell to make the transition from the middle to the outside mid-game as Mark Katopoulos calls a timeout. Got to find a way to score 4 in a row really here, or 4 of the next 5 if they want to take this set.
Yep, they need to close things out just after this timeout. So Eagles have put themselves back in the lead 22-21 in set number 3. As a reminder, they did win sets 1 and 2. So if they win this one, they will sweep the cup final in 3 straight sets. The last few points here are all about the mental game.
Oh, absolutely.
Which team can let go of the previous points, the previous errors, and just focusing on making each individual ball better?
100%. 100%.
So Batiste still at the service line. Still aiming at Tokarenko, and an ace out of the timeout.
That is pretty close. 2-ball game right there. What a serve coming out of the timeout.
And what a time to get your first ace of the match as well. As we've got the reversal of that double substitution for Polonia. Malory and Scandali back in. Good pass there from Yilmaz, but that's a low set to Bell. Allen out of the pipe.
Wonderful balance from Malory Eagles. It's almost a bad decision to have called the timeout like Mark Kontopoulos did, to give Malory's coaching staff the chance to scheme up a way to win the game for free.
So match point at 24-21. Out of system here for Polonia. Bell goes for a really big swing. A little bit of confusion. Malory saying there's no touch. And we're going to have a replay.
Hey, it takes some stones to make that kind of call as the referee, but if no one sees it, no one knows,
Yeah.
you've got to replay and go again.
And it's at the wrong end of the net from him as well. Like, he's really going to struggle to see that particular ball. Decent pass there from Yilmaz. Malory with a smart tip, but well picked up from Cruz. Block coverage from McGovern. Out to Russell. Block covered again. Malory, what a swing from her.
That's one way to keep the game alive for Carla Malory. Long set out and Malory putting the ball on the floor. Great swing.
Smart choice, actually, from Scandali there. She'd been overloading Russell on the outside. Lazard started cheating that way, and then all of a sudden, Malory's got a pretty open net. Somehow that ball makes it over the net. Scramble, free ball for Polonia, and a misconnection gives Eagles the National Cup final gold. Really, really well played from them.
Hey, the best women's team in the country. They are miles ahead of anyone else right now. 3 huge knockout games, 3 3-0 wins. The players deserve it, the coaching staff deserve it. So impressive to watch and to be against them in this moment. Like, just such a great team, so well balanced. Players on the bench who could come off and make a difference did come off and make a difference here. Malory Eagles women are going home with gold. Their first National Cup win in quite a number of years. They're the most successful club in history for a reason. You know, now 9-time winners of the National Cup. First time in almost 20 years that they've won this trophy.
Yeah, the last time they made the final was way back in 2013, so it's been a long, dry spell for them. You can see just how much this means to the ladies. You know, we've spoken to Carol Gordon a few times in the past, and she talks about the flexibility and depth of their bench. You know, they have a lot of options. They can run a 6-2, they can run a 5-1, they can change things up. But some really great signings for the Eagles this year. I mean, Georgia McGovern particularly has made a massive impact to their offense. So, and of course, we're going to have the tune for Malory Eagles playing here in the National Volleyball Center as the ladies shake hands. And in just a couple of moments' time, we will have the medal presentation for our 2 teams. So do stay tuned to watch that. And after the medal presentation, we'll have a quick word with our MVP from today's Cup Finals match. So great performance today from Team SideOut. Not quite their best. You know, we talked about Chukarenko being quieter than she normally would be. But massive, massive performance. Absolutely in control from start to finish from the Malory Eagles ladies. So huge congratulations to them. We'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.
Your champions for the night time are Malory Eagles. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, give it up for Malory Eagles! Well, quite a game. Some big bad-hitting monster blocks as well coming in from Malory. SideOut London starts to serve strong in the second and third set, scoring some heavy aces. Dr. Williams and his team. Title number 9. It's been a long time coming for the Malory Eagles. Watch out, one Matt. Of the women's final in South, what a game that was. Yes, an incredible game. But we still got 2 more left to go. Certainly have. And what wait. They'll be warming up on the course very, very shortly after this quick presentation. Remember, if you do take pictures or videos while you're here today, make sure you tag us at Volleyball England. We hope you've enjoyed your day here with us in Kettering. Well, it's now time for our awards and presentations for our Women's National Cup Finals. Presenting our awards, please join me in giving a warm welcome to the one and only Gillian Harrison.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us as we're just about to have the medals presentation for our 2 teams. Presenting the medals today will be Gillian Harrison. So starting things off, we're going to have a little bit of a token of appreciation for our official staff, with our first referee, Lenny Berry. Really cool head under some pressure in today's match. And of course, our second referee, Peter Parsons.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. We hardly noticed them, and in the big moments, they made good decisions. So, yeah, for me, really, really good.
Yeah, calling that replay, tough call, but if there's no clear answer to the question, then it is the right decision, so great from him. So we're going to start with our runners-up. in the National Cup for this year. So starting with their captain and libero, number 10, Malory Yilmaz. And then we have number 1 through the middle, Abigail Russell. Number 2, the serving substitution extraordinaire, Carrie Millard. Number 3, their setter, Merv Aiken. Number 5, Carla Mully, who played both outside and opposite today. Number 6, Johanna Bavadi. Number 9, Anna Rentala, who came on to great effect in today's match. Number 12, Alice Jagelska, who we mentioned had just played in the under-18s final before this match. Number 14, Casey Bell, great performance in set number 3. Number 15, Konstantina Skandali, having those 2 setting options big for Polonia today. Number 18, Yulia Tokarenko, a little bit quieter than we normally see her, but good performance anyway. Number 19, Sydney Busa, and of course number 25, Valeria Busquets, who was prolific with those slides, and they are led by their coaching staff. Mark Kontopoulos, Sam Swirsky, Christian Kowalski, bench personnel Vladislav Potin, and of course their statistician, Hai Bin Lee. But now we're going to congratulate the winners of this year's Cup. As Alex mentioned previously, this is their 9th win. So starting with their captain, of course, number 4, Chloe Allen. Huge performance today. Number 1, Steph Boyce through the middle. Number 2, Selena Batiste with 3 massive blocks. Number 5, through the middle, Grace Lazard over the top on a number of blocks. Number 6, Jaden Scott. Number 8, Vareri Oyeroni. Number 10, Sophie Shisco. Number 11, Elizabeth Kellum. A couple of great serving subs from her. Number 12, Joanna Cruz, JoJo. Great through the outside today. Number 13, Chika Tamoy. Massive impact when she came in for that defensive rotation. Number 14, Michelle Daniel. Number 17, as our setter, Georgia McGovern. Number 23, Patricia Coe. And of course, they're led by their coaching staff with head coach Jefferson Williams, assisted by Carol Gordon, Ian Legrand, Andrew Omoshebi, and on the bench as well, Sophia Omoshebi. Massive congratulations to the Eagles today. Huge performance from them. So we'll just have a couple of flicks through some key stats from today's match. So, you know, we mentioned Chloe Allen, the captain for Malory Eagles. Big performance from her with 16 points overall. Grace Lazard, massive as well with 13 points of her own. Selena Batiste, 11 points today. Mentioned those 3 the big blocks. But our MVP for today's match, Alex Chenery, tell us all about our MVP today.
Yeah, McGovern just set fantastically, ran such a brilliant offense today for Malory, so balanced, going to the right options at the right time, playing at a tempo that SideOut just couldn't live with. You know, such great connections formed with Grace Lazard in the middle, with Chloe Allen on the outside, Selena Batiste through the opposite. You know, 12 kills each for Lazard and for Allen, 7 for Batiste. You know, that balance was what won them this game. They were just so impossible to play against because they could cut you 1,000 different ways. You know, McGovern absolutely central to that, fully deserving of MVP.
Yeah, completely agree with that. And, you know, you mentioned the connection with Grace Lazard. There was a point during one of the longer rallies where Lazard ran a slide and then came back in to kill the ball with a C ball. And that takes a real good connection between your setter and your middle to get those sorts of balls happening mid-rally. Because a lot of times that will change as the point goes on, depending on what the situation is, depending on who's available. So the fact that they have that connection, massively well-deserved for this Cup final win. Huge season for the Malory Eagles this year. I think they'll be looking forward to try and get themselves back into the Cup finals next year so that it's not such a drought before they make it back to this arena. and I'm sure we will be hearing more about them over the next few weeks. So stay tuned over the next few minutes. We're just going to have a couple of team photos taken, and then we'll have a few words with our match MVP, Jordan McGovern. So stay tuned.
We're going to run the court at half past, and the first set is going to be at 4 o'clock on day 4. So 2 games left to go this weekend, and what a weekend it has been. Did you say half past? You mean you weren't listening? I definitely said half past. We've got 20 minutes. There's too much gas from the DJ, so hard to concentrate sometimes. That gives you guys 20 minutes to go to the reception to get your food and refreshments before the start of the final games. Enjoy yourself, stay hydrated. It is a lovely day outside and a beautiful one to play for. Really hydrate, get some sun, get back into the gym. Guaranteed that Malory was in the head of a decent celebration now. A fantastic result. It's their 9th cup final win. It's great to see them back on top of the podium here at the Royal England Cup Finals. Congratulations. Let's not be popping out on Broadway, ladies.
Right, I'm joined by our match MVP, Jordan McGovern. So, Georgia, massive congratulations.
Thank you.
9th cup win for the Malory Eagles tonight. Huge performance from you. We gave you the MVP because you ran an incredible offense. I mean, you had 2 players in double digits versus none on the Polonia side. So, huge credit to you. But how do you feel after the win today?
It feels great. I mean, this team feels like a family, and I think we all deserve this win, and the history of the club deserves this win. And I'm so happy for our coaches, especially Carol and Jeff.
Yeah, massive season for you guys as well. Obviously, just a few weeks ago, winning the gold medal for the Super League Final Four. So it's been a great season. Obviously, you're new to the team this year, so huge, huge impact that you've had. You know, how have you found setting up those connections with your hitters? Because, I mean, the connection between you and Grace Lazard is insane. How do you get that so perfect?
I mean, they have made it so easy for me. They're always available. And I think we just have firepower across the whole net. And I think that makes it easy. My job so much easier in finding one-on-ones because they don't know. They know that every single one of our hitters is a threat.
Yeah.
And Grace is just the fastest middle I've ever played with. And we played together at England, so we kind of already had a little bit of a connection. I think this has allowed us to build on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, you guys have a really strong squad. It's been a huge pleasure watching you this entire season, and
Thank you.
so pleased for you guys to win both the Final Fours and the Cup final this year. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
And yeah, really well played.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, right. I'm here with head coach Jefferson Williams of the Malory Eagles women. Huge day for you guys. Huge congratulations. How are you feeling right now?
I'm happy. I'm proud of the way the girls performed. I mean, the sets were all close except for the first set, but in the second and third set, things were tight, and we could have gone either way. The sets could have gone either way, but I just like the way that they hung tough and pulled things out. Obviously, we had to make some substitution to strengthen some bits and pieces, but as a coach, when that works, you can only be happy.
Yes,
So,
exactly. And I mean, that is one of your strengths as a team. You've got a pretty deep bench and you have plenty of options. You've got different setters, you've got different outsides, different middles. You can change basically everything that you need to. So really great to have those options. And as well, you mentioned the second set was quite tight.
Yeah.
You guys were actually down for a majority of that set and then came back right at the end to clinch it, despite the fact that Polonia had the first of the set points. So huge bit of mental resilience from the ladies. How do you build a team that has that level of resiliency?
a lot of these girls have been together for a while, especially number four, number two came through the UEL program, and again they've stuck around after they finished their degrees.
Yeah.
And so we have a good solid foundation. Not to mention the libero number three. So again, they're a tight group. Okay, they do things together. Take for instance, on Friday we trained. That was our last training session before, and they took the responsibility to prepare the match plan and call the meeting. So all the coaches had to do was just to rock up and confirm some of the things. So it meant a lot to them. We started the season and we wanted to win something, and credit to us, we won.
Yes.
We won both.
You win both, yeah. So, just talking about that. So you just had a straight sets victory against Team SideOut. So in the season, you had 1 win and 1 loss, I believe.
Yeah.
So really good to see you come in, and because I think your win in the season was 3-2 as well. You guys went to 5 full sets, didn't you?
Which one? The
versus Polonia in the mid-season.
The first match against them, we won 3-2.
Yeah.
Then they thrashed us 3-0.
Yeah.
And so again, it was good. It was good revenge. But I think one of the things is, again, we've strengthened the team with the acquisition of number 17, Georgia McGovern. So since she's come in and taken over the setting slot, we haven't dropped a set.
Wow.
Okay, so that shows.
That's a pretty impressive stat. Yeah.
That shows the difference she's made and the importance she's brought.
Which is exactly why we picked her for today's MVP because she ran an incredible offense. The passes were good.
Yep.
They weren't always perfect, but she's still able to put up a really good ball. So. Straight sets victory today, but also straight sets victory just a couple of weeks ago in the Cup Finals. Gave you guys the Super League win as well, so massive season.
It is, and I know they're probably getting ready to celebrate. So if the celebrations are anything like they were at Crystal Palace, then they'll be spraying champagne all over the field and jumping around. But as I said, they've worked hard all season. They deserve it.
Yes.
So what I said to them at the end was, probably you well done. Now go celebrate however you want to celebrate. Just go and do it.
Massive congratulations. Excited to see you guys hopefully back here for the Cup Finals next year as well.
We'll see. Again, it's another year away. We'll see. There'll probably be changes in the team, but hopefully we'll try and keep as many as possible. So we'll see how it all goes.
No,
but,
definitely. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Right, thanks guys for tuning in for the Women's Cup Final between Malory Eagles and Team SideOut Polonia, where we've just seen Malory Eagles take that one in 3 straight sets. So huge season for them, winning the Final Fours just a few weeks ago and then closing it out with a Cup Final win as well. Do stay tuned because here on Court 1 in just a few moments' time, we'll be going live for the Under-18 Boys Final. And then over on court number 2 as well, we will have the Under-15 Girls Final. So the last 2 matches of the weekend, definitely want to watch those. There's going to be some action. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.